Star Crusader is the first Take-Two game I've played, and I think it's a strong first effort. It's no major revolution in the field of space combat games, but if you're a fan of the genre, I think you'll like it just fine.
That's about how I felt too. It's not going to blow you away or anything, and it's not going to win any converts, but if you like space shooters, you should give it a try. You play Roman Alexandria, a top pilot of the Goreen Empire. The Goreens are large and technologically advanced and make it their business to subjugate and educate lesser races, preferably through peace.
Star Crusader's plot chronicles the war for the Ascalon Rift. The native races of the Rift don't want the Goreens there at all, but the Empire has definite plans for the area. The plot is one of the game's strongest points. It's fast-paced, compelling, and could actually have made a good interactive movie.
You'll converse with other pilots in the briefing room. These conversations aren't interactive, but they're well written. Each pilot has real personality, which is something you don't see often in an action game.
Characters and events are further explored with occasional animated cutscenes. Owners of the CD-ROM version will get speech in both the briefing room talks and the cutscenes. The voice acting is usually very good, and the combination of strong plot and good acting is an indication of what Take-Two is capable of. Much of Star Crusader's pre-release ad campaign centered on its graphics, which were promised to be excellent. That's only half true. The graphics in the opening sequence and the cutscenes are very good indeed, but the in-flight scenery is nothing more than average.
The mission graphics aren't bad, they're just not what they were hyped up to be. The cockpit instrumentation is fairly bland, but the enemy ships look good, especially up close. You shouldn't buy Star Crusader for its graphics, it has more deserving merits.
Let's talk about one of those merits now. The Goreens have mixed intentions in the first place, and after only a few missions it becomes obvious that your commanding officer holds much more stock in war than he does in peace. A moral dilemma is brewing.
After essentially being lied to and strung along by your superiors, you must make a choice to stay with the Goreens or defect and fight for the aliens. This isn't a clear-cut good versus evil game, and that makes the plot all the more interesting and personally involving.
As the squadron's wing leader, you'll eventually get to make strategic decisions. This will include assigning pilots to your missions and choosing the ships they'll fly. I like that an awful lot.
Me too. This is something you just don't see very often in spaceflight games. You're fighting a war, and it's refreshing to have some authority for a change. Sometimes it's the little things that make a game shine. Another good original feature is the inclusion of secondary missions. You fly the primary campaign, but in addition to this, you can assign extra pilots to fly extra missions in the background.
Successful secondary missions can gain you control over enemy sectors or win you captured enemy ships to use, and failure will lose you valuable pilots. These missions really flesh out the game, so it doesn't seem so much like fighting a one-man war. The core of the game, the actual combat, is fun and well done, although it doesn't break any new ground. Its feel is very similar to Wing Commander, which isn't bad, but I wish there had been some innovation.
The game's other parts definitely outshine the combat, but it's still a lot of fun. It's nice and fast, and control is good. Wing Commander fans should feel right at home.
Star Crusader is a good solid space action game. The combat missions don't really break any new ground, but they're fun and the game has a lot of other things going for it. If you like this type of game, you should give Star Crusader a try.
If this is any indication, I think we can expect good things from Take-Two in the future. Star Crusader has some good original ideas, and that's hard to come by in this business. I had fun playing it, and I look forward to more titles from Take-Two.